Hey guys, I'm back. It's Sarah here from Accessorize This Designs. So before we attach the legs, that's what this video is about, but before we attach the legs, make sure you've got your safety eyes in if you're using them. So I'm using a 12mm, the Galaxy eyes from Suncatcher Craft Eye. I love the shine to these eyes. They're amazing. I'll add the link below if you want to take a look. She's got lots of options. So to place the eyes, I flattened. I still don't have any stuffing in the head. If you chose to stuff the head, that's okay. But I don't have any stuffing in because then I find it easier to line up where the legs are for putting the eyes in. And so I've counted back from the middle here. I've counted back 6 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so the eyes are placed between rounds 6 and 7. And you can see about 5 stitches in between. Now you can play around with where you want your eyes placed, but I found that this is what works best for me. And then don't forget, we still have a nose to embroider on later. So, and then when you're attaching your craft eyes, you can poke them through and turn them inside out, and then you could actually add some glue to the back there because they can be a choking hazard for younger children. So just keep that in mind. Keep in mind who you're gifting it to. I also have a link to my sleepy eye pattern that I will add into the this pattern so that you can alter them that way as well. Okay, so what I've done is I've completed round 24 on the body, and on round 25 is where we're going to attach the legs. Now, if you've watched the flip-flop animal videos on how to sew in the limbs, then we're using the same method that we used there. In that video, we ended off before we got to the arms, and then we lined everything up, and then you started right at the beginning of the first leg. Now you can do that here as well if you like. So just end off and then start after I've shown you where to add your legs. Or you can keep going. Everyone has a different tension. Sorry. So everybody has a bit different tension when they are working in the round. So your last stitch of round 24, maybe over here, maybe back a little further, and that's totally fine. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna line up and show where we want our legs to go, and then you can either end off and start right at the first leg, or you can keep going in the round, or if you're past it, you can take out a couple stitches, and then those stitches just don't count as rounds. I'll show you what I mean after we've marked our stitches. So I'm going to pull that longer so it doesn't fall out. I'm going to show you where we want our legs to go. So what we want to do is we had 2 stitches in between these front legs. And for these back legs, we want 4 stitches in between. So what we're doing is I'm trying to measure up and see where those middle 2 stitches are to start. So I'm laying them down on the flat surface. I have my arms in the middle, and again, if you've stuffed, that's okay. You'll still be able to see where your front legs are. But so we're just trying to kind of figure out where the middle 2 stitches are. So that would be like the middle to the left, middle to the right. So let's add stitch markers in all of them, just so it's easier for you to see what's going on here. Now, those might not actually be the middle. All right. Okay, so I would still call this one of the middle 2 stitches, and then this guy here would be also one of them, and then also the one to the left of that. So let's check it out. So I think those are lined up. So we put our hook up, you can kind of see it's lined up between those 2 middle ones. So we've found our 4 middle stitches. And what we want to do is we want our legs to go on either side of these 4 stitches. So we're going to place this one over here in these 4 stitches to the right. And again, this is backwards to if you're working left-handed, you would start over here on the left. So these 4 stitches will be, you'll work both of the pieces together, just like you did the front legs. And then the last, after, you'll crochet these 4 stitches with just working through the body. And then you'll attach on your second leg over here. Okay, so let's see how that works out. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I have 1 more stitch to work to make it over there. So rather than ending off and reattaching the yarn, I'm just going to add an extra stitch in here. And that stitch won't be counted in either rounds 24 or 25. It's just an extra stitch just to get me to where I need to be to line up my legs properly. And likewise, if you had an extra couple stitches here, like if you didn't have 4 stitches to the right of your stitch markers, then just take it back 1 stitch or 2 stitches, whatever you need. And then the beginning of round 25 is where you start putting your leg on. And it won't make a visual difference, it'll just make it a little bit easier because you have less ends to worry about. So I've completed my 1 extra stitch in there, and again, it does not count as a stitch for rounds 24 or 25. Round 25 will start when I'm attaching this leg here. So I'm going to work the same as the front legs. You work through the first stitch of the row that you made when you crocheted the 2 sides of the leg together. Work through that first stitch, work through the next stitch of the body. You're going to do that for 4 stitches. Okay, and we'll tuck that in. And we know that these next 4 stitches are our middle stitches. So let's take these stitch markers out. So the next 4 stitches are worked just into the body. And then we're going to grab our last leg and put it in front of our work there. I'll put it up so you can see what I'm doing. And you're going to work into this first stitch and the next stitch of the body. So you're working those 2 pieces together. And you're going to do that for the next 4 stitches. All right. And again, if you're wondering, I am using the Bernat Baby Crushed Velvet yarn. I can't remember the colorway. I'll try and remember to put it in the bottom in the comments for you so you can grab it if you want. I found it at my local Michael's store. Okay, and then you're going to work the rest of the round in just the body, and you'll continue the rest of the way. So that's all for now, guys. I will come back and I will show you how to do the embroider on the nose of your bunny next. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.